Feeding over 2,000 prisoners a day is an expensive proposition, but people at the Travis County Jail, including some of the inmates, have found a way to cut costs and improve inmate nutrition at the same time. Well, how do they do it? Our Jim Swift tells us they use the old-fashioned method. They grow the food themselves in their own backyard.
At the Travis County Jail in Del Valle, Gary Jackson turns his hoe on an unruly gang of weeds.
You know, I've never been in a garden before, but, you know, my grandmother and parents had a garden, but it's something new, volunteer to come out, you know, and see what they can plant, you know.
I've started my garden at home this year. Me and my wife are starting, and it's kind of cool to get out here and find out on a larger scale than from what we're doing. We can weed for days and days out here.
I was planning on growing my own garden. I didn't know how to do it at first, like to pick the vegetables and stuff. But now that I learned, yeah, it's very useful, you know what I'm saying? I learned a lot.
Every day, Monday through Friday, 9 or 10 inmates spend 5 to 6 hours toiling over their organic garden. It's hard work, but
the fresh air and just being able to be productive with the vegetables, it's just wonderful, and I'm enjoying every bit of it.
You know, you get to get out, and it's a little more like freedom, a little less like being in jail.
So everybody seems to be having a pretty good time out here. But as a practical matter, what actually gets accomplished? Well, among other things, this gets accomplished.
Oh, we got squash, zucchini, cucumbers, radishes, spinach, onions. My onions, oh, I couldn't believe it. I started them from bulbs, and they were 5 inches thick.
Once it's harvested, the organic produce heads straight to the jail kitchen, where Supervisor Sean Hest puts his inmate staff to work on it.
He'll bring in a few 100 pounds of squash. We can chop it, clean it, chop it, and make it into a casserole of some kind.
But it's not for everyone.
I got some guys that say, you know, they get out here and the sun's too hot for them, and some just don't like to, they're used to working inside, air-conditioned area with computers, and they don't want to get dirty.
But jail supervisors say fewer than a dozen low-risk inmates at work in the garden produce weekly savings of more than $1,500. There are plenty of taxpayers who would call that a bountiful harvest. Jim Swift, KXAN, Austin News.